Do you want to play ball? Let's go out to play. Aubrey, my fan. The reason I'm telling you this is my third take on this video, and I've repeated myself so often. 10% of the mind on a sheet of paper equals 11. 10 equals 11. When you count the number 10, you must count the number 0. Okay? You count 10 as a whole. You count 9 as a whole, 8 as a whole, 7, 6, 5, 4, until you get to 0. You have 11. That's why when you see 11, 11, okay, it's on one side. When you see the other 11, it's on the other side. Our connection, okay, because of the center point, does not need to be touched by the other arm because it's already included in it. It's 1. So 10 is actually 11. The other species about that is they're all opposite of each other. 10 is opposite of 11, and 11 is opposite of 10, and you're always getting 21. Okay, but you're getting 21 in the beta world. Okay, because 1 and 9 are opposites. Okay, if you can't understand why I said that 1 and 9 were opposites, wow, I lost myself. The 10, because the 10, it's the 10 world in which all the 10s come into the center as 5, and in the center of 5 is what takes place is 3 creation, which is the top right. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you is, now that would be 2 diamonds. Okay. Can you see the X in the center, right apart from each other, is 8 and 8. Everything is A, B, C, D, because that is the 4 angle of God. What everything in between was, okay, 2, 4, 6, and 8, was all part of a secondary creation. But when you put it back in one world, we now eliminate 2, 4, 6, 8, and we only use the 6 parts of a dice. Since one part, okay, counts the 6 in which we have eliminated, it goes on the top, and it can only work with the connection of the 1. The 6 and the 1 together have to work between the top and the bottom. They must be opposite of each other. So now on the top is the club. Now you see the 2 wings of the bird? Well, that's 2 of the sides of the club. The head is part of the club, and it ends up to be the chicken on top of the church, cock-a-doodle-doo, with her yellow legs and her black head. That's the fleur-de-lis, okay, standing for beta. Okay, at the same time, what you see is those 2 dice that connect are the 1 dices of God, which connect this corner inside the 88. That would make the nose of the pig. The reason the nose for the pig, you want to see it in a better connection, is right here. The 2 noses across from each other, and these 2 noses across. But it's only these 2 noses that need to breathe. And that's why in this position, on the club, there's a leg. This part of the nose, it's the eye birth. So the eye birth needs to breathe. So if it's under the water, it breathes with gills. And if it's on land, it breathes the way we breathe. Okay? This is the pig. This is 4 1 dice. Snake eyes. I think it pays 30 to 1. The opposite side of snake eyes is the 6. So you got 11 on one side. You got 66 on the other side. You got 7.7 of the 2 worlds. Okay? What else did I want to show you? One of the reasons there's no moon on Mercury or Venus. Let me check if this video is working. Okay, it's still working. Let's take into effect that this here are all the planets. Now what happens is you need the 1 spirit, which ends up to be God. You see it's X'd out this corner, and the reason that corner is X'd out is because of this position here. This is 1 corner. In this corner I joined everything in Trinity to the center. I made a triangle. Okay, and then I went out at 45 degrees, and I make an angle that gave me 5 dots. And that's the 5 dice. Okay, that takes up 1 corner, of the A, B, C, D. Okay? But it takes up all the corners of all the A's. They all get eliminated. Okay? And then, like on the phone, you have an X in the corner. Now, we don't use number 2 because we bypass it because we don't have a 2. We must create a 2. And that's why the 2 ends up with the letters on our telephone right here. They must create a 2 with a 3. So once the 2 is created, right, this 1 is no longer needed. Because now this X in the center, which is beta 2, is now doing all the creation through the 5 hole, which is the 1 dice. We call area 51 dead center here. This would be Jupiter. Okay, the beta god would be Jupiter. She's running all the moons because you see in the club, there's moons across her chest. She has Earth, Saturn, and Pluto to deal with. Pluto is the birth planet. Okay, why the one King of Diamonds waves goodbye on the King card is because he's waving goodbye to 9, because he was connected to 9 for creation. But they broke him off because they transferred all creation to the 2. Now the 2 created, and they put an X on the 1. They put an exclamation point. Why in the world is the 1 still there? Because the 1 is the beginning of everything. It's the middle. It's the heart. It's the 2 that's the corners. It's the cornerstones of everything. It starts with the 2. Okay? But the whole thing is, when you break a dice up and you cut each dot out, every single dice becomes the eye of the pig. The one-eyed bandit. The one-eyed God. God made everything to break up and break down. So anyways, so now you have the planets together. 3, 6, 9. Okay? 3 and 9 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3 means creation. 3 is an angle. So we have the 6th man, okay, living off of Pluto and Saturn. So Earth uses Saturn moons because we're connected to them? No. We use this moon here. The moons that have to be used on Saturn to use for us come from this side. They have to use the Saturn moons to come to us. Okay, they all have to connect to come to creation, to be born on Earth. So they have to rotate. But 1 is gone. The other thing I want to show you is, have you ever counted the 5 and slashed it off like that? Well, that's 5, 5. You're missing 2 sides. There's 4 sides to every equation. So you multiply that by 4, and you have 20, plus the center that attaches to everything in the middle, you have 25, and then the east-west lines of beta, you have 30 and 35. 35 or 53 is the town of Freedom. That's here in Quebec. The creation of the Amtram, the snowflake, 10-4, oh, pi. Here's a thing on pi. You see it in the camera? Okay, you see 1 and 3. Okay, like I said, there was the Spirit of God, okay, that created with the 3. He created the 2, and then only 2 and 3 took over. 1 was only in spirit, okay? So it took 3 parts of pi, okay, over the 9 positions. But the 5 position was an action position. It wasn't really anything more than a transfer station, but it went and took part of east and west of man, which breaks everything up in Trinity. So pi has something to do with Rubik's Cube. Not only that, the way I see pi is, however they block the numbers together, however they block them in 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, don't forget, if you want the right block, you got to block from 0 to 9. You get all 10 numbers. Okay? Then you do all the combinations with that. You put a dot. You do all 10 numbers, you put a dot. You do all 10 numbers, you put a dot. You must do all combinations, okay, with the number of pi, because have you ever taken a screw and turned it and turned it and turned it and turned it, and all of a sudden you're turning but it's not going anywhere? Well, we're locked into position. And pi is a number that locks us into position. We move up, we move down, but we're locked in. Every sequence locks us into a new position. So pi might be something that extends through the universe, okay? But the basics is, the matrix covers every single corner. Where does pi come in to the matrix? It's the cobweb of communication, how it all connects. Is everything evenly connected apart? But you know, everything from the core extends from the principal office, of course. And the principal office is in the front. And you don't want to sit by the principal office, do you? Talking about the core of the apple. So anyways, just to get back to this thing before my tape runs out, each position gets 9 hubs, okay, for a totality. So you have 4 corners at 9 hubs by 4 positions. 9 by 4 is 36 and 36. Top and right, I'm jumping over to center because it's a diamond. Female, female, diamond, diamond, female, female, square head, man, man, square head, man, man. 88, the connection, okay? So now what we have here, we have 36 and 36 is 72, and this makes 36. Same thing on the bottom. We end up with 144. 144,000 midway angels is because of how this system works. Why do I say 144,000? Because there's multiples of levels, number 1, and everything is 10 across, 10 across. You see the X? 10, 10, that's how you go across. 144 times 10 is 1440. Oh, and then the Jesus cross, right through the stomach. So you get your 144,000 midway angels. You don't need to double up, but if you do double up, okay, it's 288,000, means 2 worlds of 88. And the reason you don't have to double up is because once you've doubled up, they're already doubled up with you. The angels. Oh my God. There's so much stuff. So anyways, this number that I just told you of 144 and 72 equals to 216, which is something to do with a code of Moses. I'm not sure. But not only that, there's something missing. We never added what's in the center. There's 4 in the center, and the beta center can only count for 6. Crossways, an X, and 1 cross apart. So it can only count for 6. So that would make 6 times 4, because A, B, C, D equals 24. So now you have the 24 in the center, which is the 24 hours of God. So you have a total of 240, which translates into 6 days, 1 day, and 3 days of God, totaling the same 240 and the 613 mitzvahs of God, because He wrote it all down, He left it in the words, He made shapes and designs, and He said, talk to everybody and you'll figure it out. Everything's a little crooked, I'm a little odd, but I know if you double up, you'll make everything even and even better and good. Thank you very much. That's enough for now. I am the spokesperson for MrTacpans's. Hey, he's on the other side of me. He loves looking at my eyes. I swear, I think he's gay. But he is coming from the 5-fold. And when you say 5, you say a 5th. Is it a 5th? Because it's no longer the 5. They changed the B for an F. Did you ever notice the way 10, 20, 30 went with 10, 10, 10? Hey, man. It's when you get to the 30. You get to the 40, now you got all the angles. You see, they changed from 4th to TH. But now you got 40, the 4th angle after a repetitive of TTT. And first, of course, of God. 10, 20, 30. 5th, 50. In French, they go, in French, you know what they say, 70 in French? They go, 60, 60, exist. 60 and 10. And 90, they go, 80. No, in 90 they go 4 20s and a 10. You understand? 4 20s, it's around the 4 sides of the cube. 4 20s, and the opposite locations of the points are 9s coming from God's world, the closed world, because everything here has to double up, right? Wow. Okay. MrTacpans's. Yeah, so we're all 5s today. The inside of the Mercedes sign is a 5. It's like a Y, it sticks out the 3 sides, 5, 5, 5, because we all come to 1 at the end. So we're 15 and 51. 51 and 15 is how much? 66. You backtrack it the other way, it's 44, brings it to 10, 10. 4 and 4 is 8. We have our own heaven inside ourselves now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh Lord, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Talking like this, I didn't think I'd talk like this ever in my life. Is it true? You know, when you really believe, when you really believe. Still trying to believe.